G'day guys, Marcus here from GetCarTech. Today in the workshop we have a 2018 Mazda CX-5. We're going to be doing an overview video for our DIY Mazda Connect CarPlay upgrade kits. The Mazdas are where it all began for us here at GetCarTech. When I started this business, I only worked on the Mazda Connect systems, and after installing these kits into over 1,000 cars and selling over 500 of these across the globe, it's fair to say here at GetCarTech, we are experts when it comes to upgrading the Mazda Connect system. We've taken all our knowledge and every lesson we've learned over the 3 years we've been working on Mazdas to create the perfect DIY CarPlay kit. We've seen the good and the bad when it comes to component quality, but we have nailed it when it comes to our DIY kits. We have the highest quality components, and we also include a software USB for every single Mazda software market. So we have the latest version 74.00.324 for Australia, New Zealand region, for European region, for Japan and North America. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, we'll ship you the correct software on a USB that's ready to go. And being that we've worked on over 1,000 Mazdas, we've seen every single Mazda model with the Mazda Connect system in Australia. So for Australian market, that's the Mazda 2, the Mazda 3, the CX-3, the CX-5, the CX-8 and the CX-9, the Mazda 6 and the Mazda MX-5. The MX-5 is known as the Miata in international markets, but we literally have a video for every single Mazda model that exists within Australia, and we take you through step by step exactly how to do it for every single model. Our motto here at GetCarTech is CarPlay the easy way, and I couldn't think of a product that represents that more than our DIY kits. These take the stress out of updating your Mazda Connect system to have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We have these available in wired and wireless variants. But that's enough of an intro. We'll get into a bit of an overview about these systems, how it works, how the software update works, and what you can expect once the system's installed. Let's get into it. So, how do you know if you have the Mazda Connect system? Well, first of which, we have a compatibility list on the back of our box. You can check this on our website if you want some more details. But essentially, it's any Mazda that comes with this red interface here. This is the Mazda Connect system. The screen shape can look a little different between models, but as long as your main interface looks like this, you definitely have the Mazda Connect system. And it's usually most Mazdas made between the years 2014 and 2020. So when you install CarPlay into the Mazda Connect system, you don't lose any stock features, and it's fully supported by the Mazda Connect system itself. So Mazda released a software update a while ago that made the Mazda Connect system backwards compatible with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So it's a fully official upgrade, no hacks, no special software. It's an official Mazda upgrade that's supported by the entire system, including the steering wheel buttons, including the reverse camera, and including the entire Mazda system. This one here has got a heads-up display. It's not going to affect that. We really mean it when we say zero stock features are lost by installing Apple CarPlay. So how do we install CarPlay? Well, first of which, we have to update the software. Now, most Mazdas with the Mazda Connect system shipped with a version of software that does not support Apple CarPlay. We'll go across in the system settings of this Mazda, and we're going to scroll down to About, and we're going to go to Version Information. Now, we can see the operating system version is 59.00.504, and that's 4AN at the end. That means we're in Australia. It's Australia, New Zealand software version. You may have a slightly different prefix at the end, but that doesn't matter. Essentially, you have to be on software version 70 or above for your Mazda Connect system to support Apple CarPlay. We obviously include our USB with version 74.00.324, which is the last version of the Mazda Connect software that Mazda ever made. So it's fully up to date. There won't be any more releases. So when you buy our kit, you get access to that USB. That's the latest official Mazda software version. Software update takes about 20 to 45 minutes depending on your region. Some regions have a larger software file than others. In Australia, it's about a 45-minute software upgrade. But the great news is it's really not that difficult. YouTube would have you believe that the software update's intimidating, but we have a separate video that we send you a link to that shows you exactly step by step how to update the software safely. So once we've updated the software, we're ready to install the hardware. So for these Mazdas, the only piece of hardware we have to replace is the USB hub, which in this CX-5 is located in the center console. I'll just show you what our USB hubs look like. So this is the Mazda USB hub, but it's got some upgraded hardware that allows for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The USB hubs that came from factory with these cars do not support Apple CarPlay. In the case of this CX-5, the USB hub is located in the center console here. If you've got a Mazda CX-3 or a later generation Mazda 3, your USB hub may be behind the gear stick. It really doesn't matter, the process is still the same. Essentially, what we do is we pop out the old USB hub, we run some new cables from the USB hub up to the back of the original screen. And I know that can sound intimidating, but I promise you, we've learned so many tips and tricks working on so many Mazdas over the years that we've really streamlined the process and we make it super, super easy. You may see some videos on YouTube showing you that you have to disassemble the entire center console, all these pieces to install Apple CarPlay, but we absolutely minimize the amount of pieces you have to take out. And for these CX-5s, for example, this one will take us just about 40 minutes to install the hardware, whereas if you followed a random YouTube tutorial, you'd be in the car for half a day. Right now, every single tutorial video on YouTube for the Mazda CarPlay upgrade is someone attempting it for their first time, but not us. Again, we've installed these into over 1,000 Mazdas, and we take all that professional knowledge and distill it into a beautiful, easy to understand, easy to follow, step-by-step tutorial video. We did not skip over a single step, and we truly make it easy for beginners. You can go read our Google reviews. We have first-timers that have no idea how to disassemble a car, successfully install these kits, and that's what makes us different. All right, that's enough from me. We're going to install CarPlay into this CX-5 right now, and we'll skip ahead to when that's done, and we'll show you the end result. All right, so we're in our car. I just wanted to quickly show you our software update taking place. Again, we have a separate video tutorial for the software update. It's more in-depth than anything available online currently. We show you exactly step by step how to do the software update, and with the right instructions, it really is a piece of cake. All right, the install is complete on this Mazda CX-5 2018. We can see the software has been updated to version 74. And we're just going to plug in a phone into the top USB port down here. This new USB hub has a phone symbol on the top USB port. That's the one we're going to use for CarPlay. And we're just going to do the first test. We've got charge, which is a great sign, and there we have it. Enable Apple CarPlay. We're going to hit agree on our Mazda screen, and then there's going to be a prompt that comes up on our phone. We just want to hit allow, and that's it. We can see in a second that we're going to launch straight into Apple CarPlay. And look how smooth that is. So the touchscreen works with Apple CarPlay when the car's stationary, but when you're moving, it's a default Mazda safety feature for the touchscreen to turn off. So when you are on the move, you will use the center jog wheel, but look how well that works. We can start the car here and show you that the reverse camera still works as well. So we'll wait for CarPlay to relaunch. In reverse, no problems at all. And we can still access the Mazda system by pressing this Mazda button here. So we still have full access to the Mazda Connect system, but now we have this beautiful little CarPlay icon in the top left. And this works exactly the same for Android Auto as well. All right, for the initial test, we used a cable just to make sure everything's working, but this is the wireless version of our kits. So you can see that this phone is fully connected to CarPlay without any cables whatsoever. This is 2025 tech in a car that's almost 10 years old. And we can see the touchscreen still works, and wireless CarPlay is just as fluid as well. Again, still have access to the Mazda Connect system, and our wireless kits also work with Android Auto too. So if you're watching this video, we assume you already know what you're in for with Apple CarPlay, but if you don't, there's some cool features in here like Waze navigation, Google Maps navigation. It looks really, really nice on this big screen. You've also got access to phone calls, Siri. You get the gist. Apple CarPlay really does transform the interior of your car. There you have it, guys. That's an overview of our DIY CarPlay kits for the Mazda Connect system. Here in this CX-5, it took us about 40 minutes to install the hardware and about 45 to do the software update. Now, we pride ourselves on the quality of our hardware, the quality of our tutorial videos, and the quality of our returns policy. At CarTech, our motto is CarPlay the easy way. So if you want to do it right the first time, head on over to our website, pick yourself up a DIY kit, and change the interior of your Mazda forever.